Morning, everybody. As you join us, we have a fantastic speaker this morning. Just a quick sort of attention to his name. Pronunciation is Yaniv Zaid. That's my sort of version of it with my faint Irish accent behind it. But Yaniv has a unique background. He's not only an international speaker and an author, but also an attorney. And when you think about it, lawyers and sales professionals have something very important in common, and neither succeed by forcing people to do anything, contrary to popular belief. They succeed by building trust, communicating clearly, and helping people make confident decisions. That combination of legal expertise and business experience and communication skills has made Yaniv one of the leading voices in persuasion and influence. He has spoken to audiences around the world and written multiple books on sales, persuasion, and communication. And Yaniv joins us from Israel, a country that has faced extraordinary challenges and uncertainty in recent years. Living and working in that environment must provide a unique perspective on resilience, communication, and human connection under pressure. What I particularly like about Yaniv's philosophy is that persuasion is not about pressure. It's not about tricks and manipulation. It's about credibility, connecting, and creating unique value for the people we serve. That won't be used to most of us on the call, that's for sure. This morning, he will share the 10 of sales, practical principles that can help us all have better conversations, build stronger relationships, and uniquely achieve better results. And who doesn't want that? So please join me in a very warm welcome to Dr. Yaniv Zaid.
Thank you very much, Paul. I met Paul and I'm a member of USB International since 2 years now. I met Paul and Katie in GSS Global Speaker Summit in Bali 2024, and again in Cairns, Australia 2026. And I enjoy working with you. So today we're going to talk about the 10 commandments of persuasive sales, some headline about what I do. I will introduce myself beside what Paul said. I've been doing, I'm a global speaker since the year 2000, 26 years now, more than 2,500 speaking gigs, lectures, and workshops in 5 continents. I'm a lawyer, mediator, realtor, economist, and I have a PhD in law. And I've written 11 books, 6 in Hebrew, 5 in English. They were translated to 12 languages so far. These are 3 of them: public speaking, the 21st Century Sales Bible, and creative marketing. And these are samples of my books, international books. This is the Spanish version, the Chinese version, the American version. And those are the languages my books were translated to. I sold more than 300,000 copies worldwide so far. Besides speaking, I also do business consulting on how to improve marketing and sales and persuasion and negotiation abilities. I work with high-tech companies, low-tech companies, armies, city halls, corporates, pharmaceutical companies, banks, like you see, many, and small, medium businesses, of course, and I help them to achieve more money, more income, more brand. I spoke till now in 18 countries in 5 continents, some of which I come back again and again, like China, India, United States. And I have some models, some blueprints of my methods that are being taught in universities, municipalities, armies, governments, banks, small, medium businesses, high-tech companies, and startups. And I also appear a lot in the worldwide media and podcasts about sales, marketing, economy. You can see some sample of the international podcast I've been in. And my mission in life is to help individuals and businesses to grow their business, to grow their success, to improve their marketing, sales capabilities. And like Paul said, this is in a specific way that I think it's relevant for the AI era and for 2026, 2027. Now, when I work with managers and call centers and sales managers and marketing persons, I always tell them that they need to think like experts. And I see managers and entrepreneurs and business owners as experts and professional authorities and information centers. I will soon explain what does it mean to be an expert or how do you become an expert. But when people perceive you or clients perceive you as experts, then 4 amazing things will happen. Number 1, people are going to talk more about you. It's called viral marketing. You make people, you make your audiences, you make your clients great ambassadors for you. I'm going to talk about how to do it, and in my workshops, I elaborate a lot how to create viral marketing, which is free and it's great, very effective. Number two, people will pay you more because when you're an expert, people are willing to pay you more because when you brand, people pay more than just a regular product or service. Number three, people will argue less with you because as business owner, if you try to sell, you try to sell services or yourself or products, usually you take your clients out of their comfort zone. So if they perceive you as an expert, they will argue with you less. And number four, they will choose you over your colleagues. And I intentionally say colleagues, not competitors, because I believe in a creative thinking, not competitive thinking. And there is enough space for everyone. But there is, lots of noise out there, lots of competitors, lots of competition. And when you perceive it as an expert, people will choose you and not your colleagues. And if we talk about AI era, and I talk a lot about it in my speaking gigs and lectures, then when you are like everyone else, then AI can replace you even today. Okay, but if you are mediocre in what you do, AI replaces you. But if you are an expert, if you are an information setter, if people call you again and again because not only your knowledge but your perspective, then AI not only not replace you, but AI will become your best ally and friend. So and also I have another product. I have books. I have online courses. I have an AI avatar, both B2C and B2B. I have corporations worldwide. If you would like, I can elaborate later. But I have a corporation to B2C, to clients who read my book. They can also purchase my AI avatar with an American company. It's called Wisdom. And another corporation I do is with a British company. It's called Call Marker, and I have a software, a feature for sales that I can help sales representative in call centers. This is something I do, and after my speaking gig, I sell it to my clients. Now let's talk about the 10 commandments of persuasive sales that I think they are the most efficient in 2026, 2027. So commandment number one is authenticity. And Paul mentioned it, that not just push your message, but be yourself. Be the best version of yourself, because if you try to copycat others, and sometimes business owners or managers, they see what other competitors are doing and they try to be like them. But in 2026, 2027, I call it a fake radar or bullshit radar that your clients have, and they see when it's you actually, what you say, what you write, and when it's not you. So I always say to my clients, you need to be Batman and not Superman. Okay, now what is the difference? Batman and Superman, they are both superheroes and they both look like human beings, but they are not the same actually, because Superman came from another planet. So if Superman provides a workshop on how to fly, and I will buy the ticket for the first row and I will sit in the first row and I will hear everything he says, and he will explain exactly what to do in order to fly. He will tell me, Yaniv, go to the highest tower, go to the roof, check the wind, check your first step, and I will do exactly what he says. I'm still going to fall because he's not a regular person and I am a regular person. But Batman is a regular person who developed in not ordinary tools. So if Batman will do a workshop how to fly, and I will sit in the first row, then Batman can tell me, Yaniv, you and I are alike. I even had a worse life because the Joker murdered my parents when I was young, and I fell into a cave when I was young, and I was afraid of bats, I was afraid of darkness. But then I taught myself how to fly. So let me teach you. And this is someone I can relate to. So when you try to describe yourself or your business or your products or services as perfect, people don't buy it. They don't buy it anymore. Again, they have a fake radar. So you don't need to describe yourself as perfect, but you need to describe yourself also not perfect. And there is the phenomenon, it's called the Facebook illusion. It's not just Facebook today, it's the TikTok illusion and YouTube illusion, but it started in Facebook, that everyone's life seems so perfect. Our neighbors, our friends, our colleagues, our competitors, our businesses around us, everyone just talk about success, and it doesn't sound honest and authentic. So you need to be authentic, which brings me to my commandment number two. Commandment number two is, in order to be authentic, you should also talk about your struggles and failures. Now, don't invent struggles and failures. You need to be honest and talk only about true stories that happened to you. But if you had struggles, and everyone has, as a business or individuals, then you need to talk about it because people have to hear it. There is a great example I always use, that Trump, no matter what you think about him politically, but he wrote a great book about negotiation in the 80s. Before he was politician, before the intern that was on the 90s, in the 80s of the 20th century, he wrote a book about negotiation. Now, his story, he was a second generation of real estate in New York, and his father Fred gave him $400 million. He inherited $400 million. and he spent the money, and after a few years, he managed to lose everything. He lost all his money. And then after a few years, he got up on his feet and managed to raise more money than $400 million, okay, or something like $1 billion. And then a few years later, he managed in a miraculous way to lose everything again. The joke in the book industry in the United States was that all his books end in chapter 11. Because chapter 11 is the bankruptcy in the United States. And then after a few years back, he managed to become a billionaire again. And this is something I would like to read about. And this is what the book is about negotiations. So the resurrection part, people love to hear about the rise and fall and rise and fall and rise and fall. This is something that's interesting. So if you have stories about failures and struggles, people love to hear it. And there is a great line of lectures and speaking gigs worldwide. It happens all over the world. It's called Fuck Up Nights, especially in high-tech companies. Fuck Up Nights are nights that entrepreneurs are talking to other entrepreneurs and telling them about their failures. And you can see, I checked it, there is also in Africa, in South Africa, also in New Zealand, in Australia, in the United States, in Asia, in Europe, everywhere. And it's very common line of lectures. And usually there is a twist, because usually the stories goes like this. My first company, I lost $100 billion of investors. In my second company, I got bankrupt and got divorced. And my third company is PayPal. So usually it's a failure, success stories. Okay, you won't hear stories like my first company, I lost $100 million of investor. In my second company, I got bankrupt, and today I'm broke, I am homeless, I live with my wife's parents or something like that. Usually it will be failure, success. But people love it. People love it. People go to pubs late at night, they order French fries and beer, and they listen to other people tell about their fuck ups. So don't invent struggles, but talk about it. Commandment number 3, again, we talked about authenticity, so everything is connected. When we talk about marketing writing, also do marketing writing for companies. And when you do talk about what you say online and offline, then you need to have a legit marketing promises. What is legit marketing promise? What you promise to your clients. You need to promise only results you can deliver yourself, because I see lots of sentences that are over-promised, and they promise things that they can't deliver themselves. For example, I will tell you 2 examples that are very common on landing pages and websites, what not to say or what not to write. So if you say, following my diet workshop, you will lose 1 pound a week. So obviously it sounds great, but I can't promise it, because it's not up to me. It's up to my clients, what they're going to do, how they're going to implement what I teach them, right? And another thing I see a lot is participate in my course and your profit will double itself. It's a measured number. So I can't say to clients, you earn now $1 million, you will earn $2 million after my workshop, okay? Because it's a measured number, and it's not up to me, it's up to the client. And the client can earn $1.5 million, which is great, and they will tell me, but you told us I'm going to double my money, so I didn't, so you're a failure or something like that. So what we should say instead, for example, is, in my diet workshop, you will discover the most innovative weight loss tools. This is something I can promise, because it's a content. I'm in charge on the content, so I can promise you get the most innovative and practical content. Okay, or join my sales course, and if you implement even few of the principles, your income will grow. It's great, because if it will grow only with 3%, 5%, it's still growth, right? And again, if you implement even few of what I'm going to teach you, not you just sit in my class and your income will grow. So this is different. So you need to focus on legit marketing promises. So commandment number 4 is learn and develop yourself all the time, and let your clients know it. And this is something I work a lot with my clients, how to talk about what we learn, because for me, every expert is a student, and we need to update ourselves all the time. If I'm now going to court and there is a lawyer represented me, I expect that if there was a precedent yesterday in the Supreme Courthouse, then he knows about it and he can show it in court. Or if I'm going to a surgery and a surgeon deals with me, I expect that if some operation happened yesterday and there was some epiphany or something that they should know, they will know when they treat me. So if you talk to your clients about things you did, podcasts you heard, events you participated, lectures you've been to, they are going to think that you are experts, because I expect my experts to be updated. So share your business and professional experience with everyone, no matter what you do. For example, I was in GSS 2026 in Australia. I told everyone, you need to tell your communities back home that you are in a conference right now. Commandment number 5 is talk. We talked about struggles and we talked about failures, but you should also talk about success. So talk also about your success, but in objective ways. And there is a great tool that I teach a lot and I practice a lot in my workshops. It's social proof. What is social proof? If I will talk about myself, I will say I'm a great speaker, I'm a great professional, I have a great company, and my products are great. It doesn't sound objective. It sounds subjective because I'm talking about myself. So obviously I'm going to speak highly of myself. But if I will show you some objective evidence about it, not me talking about it, but others are talking about it, then it sounds different and sound objective, and then you believe. Now I can give you an example how social proof works because it's at a subconscious level. I'm now taking it to the conscious level. But let's say you have a lunch break and you go to restaurants and you don't know the area and you see two restaurants, one located next to another, and one is empty, one is full. Now they are both open, and the empty one, the owner stands in front of the restaurant and tells you, well, come on in, come and eat. And the full one is full, and there is a line from the entrance of the restaurant till the end of the block, and you are starving. Okay, where do you go to eat? You go, most people, to the full one. Why? Here enters social proof, because in a matter of seconds, we tell ourselves in the subconscious level, again, I'm taking it now to the conscious level, but we are telling ourselves, if everyone is over there at the line, then something is good there. And if this restaurant, the other restaurant, is empty, something is not good. So I'm willing to wait in line for a long time and then come to a selector at the entrance and beg him, which always makes me laugh because I'm begging someone to let me in and be a paying customer, and beg someone and they get inside and wait inside for a long time because it's full, the restaurant, and just because of social proof. So I will give you examples, and again, in my workshops and lectures, I elaborate a lot and I give examples, and I study each client, and this is something that they enjoy to do. So recommendations and formal certificates are social proof, are great social proof, because others are talking about me, not me talking about myself. Case studies, before and after stories. I would like to show to clients something. I need to show him some previous case studies. Sport activities, if I do sport activity, again, don't invent things up, but if you do, then it shows that you are, you're a hard worker, that you have contingency, that you're very energetic, a lot of positive things. So talk about it with clients. Volunteer activities as companies or individuals, if you do, you need to talk about it. It helps the business. The subconscious level, it shows that you have great values, that you good people, that you help people, you help other people, you are part of the community, etc. Amount of clients and famous clients. I always show my clients how to use the list of clients they have in the most effective way. Experience and the number of years you do what you do, because it shows that you already made mistakes with other clients and the client now trusts you more. So all of this, those are examples of social proof, and I teach it in my workshop. Commandment number 6 is gather information, document information, and use the information. This is something, we are in an AI era, and all the information is out there, and some of the things I teach is always how to gather all the information out there. Most of it are free, and how to document the information, how to use the information, and if you use it properly, then you can provide personal attention to your clients. And personal attention is a very important tool, especially in the AI era, because today there is something that's called the loneliness epidemic. There are research that shows that AI actually makes us more lonely. And it started with Facebook, and then TikTok and YouTube. So we're in a digital era. Supposedly we can connect everyone in the world, but we feel more and more lonely. So part of the population is more and more technological. They just order things or buy things online. They don't go to the supermarket anymore. They don't have almost any friends. They just consult with AI. But most of the population still are trying to make friends, and they appreciate the personal attention. I can give you just a quick tip because I use lots of tips during my presentations, but there is points of contact in your mobile or your cellular. So for example, a few years ago, I was in a conference of lawyers. I spoke, and then came to me some lawyer, let's call him Brandon Lewis, a generic name, and he was interested in me talking to his law firm. And we switched business cards, and we talked for a little bit, and then I come to my hotel room with dozens of business cards. Most people, what they do with business cards, nothing. They just forget about it or throw it away. But what I do is, after I gathered the information, I got the business card, I document the information, so I got it into my points of contact, and I also use the reference, because I wrote Brandon Lewis, lawyer, lawyers convention in this and this location, speaking gig to his law firm, something like that. It takes you around 10 seconds. Now, a year ago, I drive my car and suddenly the phone rings and I see the line, the line goes like this, Brandon Lewis, I see his name. So I send and I say, hi, Brandon, how are you? Now, the response is always the same response. People tell me, wow, amazing. How can you remember? Wow, who, ha. And then clients always tell me, you have a great memory. Now, I don't have a great memory. I just know how to read. This is all I did, okay? And then always comes the second sentence. They say to me, you probably don't remember where we met. So I said, of course, Brandon, we met 6 years ago in this location in the lawyer convention, and you wanted me to speak in your law firm. Now, what do you think the odds I'm going to get the gig now? Probably higher, right? Because not only I remember the name, but also I remember the information. And it's not because I have a great memory, it's because I knew how to gather information, to document information, and then use the information during the conversation. Now, this is only one tool. I have many more tools. Commandment number 7 is feed your clients. This is something I studied for years because when you feed your clients, and now people feed your clients, meaning when you come to your shop, when you come to your retail, when you come to your office, when you come to your event or conference. Now people don't buy your services or come to meet you just to eat, okay? And even if they are hungry, maybe the restaurant costs less than your workshop, okay? But when you tell people to feed your clients, this is a research I did many years ago, then if you promise food in your events, then you have 20% more conversion rate. Okay, it's for many reasons. I can elaborate later if you'd like. But again, I tell always my clients that you need to feed your clients, because then endorphins will come to their brain and then they are more likely to be satisfied. Commandment number 8 is sell the problem before the solution. Now you need to understand your product, your services, or your content is the solution. But before I talk about the solution, which is my comfort zone, I need to sell the problem to clients. And you need to ask yourself, what do you really offer to your clients when you sell when you sell to them your services or products? I can give you an example. What is the difference between an ordinary bouquet of flowers and a bridal bouquet? Bridal bouquet is flowers for the wedding. Now, if I try to sell regular bouquet of flowers, I can charge maybe $100. But if I call it a bridal bouquet, then I can charge between $300 and $500. Each product for the wedding costs between 3 and to 5 times more. Now, why? Because flowers are flowers, right? So the answer is, what is the difference? The answer is the need. Because if you buy, the bride or the groom, they buy flowers, the bridal bouquet for the wedding, they're not actually buying flowers. They are buying a successful wedding. They are buying the image of a queen for a day, the $1 million feeling that the bride has the entire day. They buy the photos, that they will take photos, and then 10 years from now, the bride and groom will sit with the kids and look at the photo album, and they will say, oh, look how beautiful mommy was. And 30 years from now, they will sit with their grandkids with the photo album and say, oh, look how beautiful grandmother was. This is what they buy when they buy those flowers. So if you understand the needs, then you can sell in much higher prices and it will be much more successful. And why people sign up for workshops and presentations and talks and events. I did a research many years ago why people come to lectures, because this is my product and some of my clients' products, and obviously your business as well as a speaking bureau. So obviously the common answer should be knowledge, right? They come to a workshop, they come to hear me because of knowledge, but apparently knowledge was just number 4 out of 10 answers. Number 1 was fun and experience. Number 2 was break the routine. Number 3 was networking, and other more answers. I elaborate more about it in GSS 2024, but there are many answers. So it changed the way I sell my products or I sell my lectures, and it changed the way I also lecture, because if people are looking for fun and experience, I should add jokes, add examples, add stories, not just focus on the content. Commandment number 9 is call to action. So after I provided personal attention, solved the problem, sold myself or my product as a solution, described the social proof, it was authentic. Now at the end of the conversation, I need to do call to action, which is something most people and most companies don't do enough, and this is why they don't close enough deals. Call to action, I mean, at the end of each presentation, each meeting, each email, each conversation, you need to tell people exactly what you need them to do, what are the next steps. So there is a great research I always tell about that what motivates people the most to get vaccinated. 50 years ago, there was a research in the United States in one of the Ivy League schools, universities, what will make people get vaccinated. And they took 100 students and they gave them a great presentation. You need to go vaccinated. It was against polio. They told them all the right messages. You are in a risk group, you need to do it. If not, bad things will happen. They showed them all the results, etc. And after half an hour, they told them, go and get vaccinated. And they checked 1 month later how many people got vaccinated. And out of 100 students, just three. Just three. It's 3% conversion rate, very, very low number. And the researchers asked themselves what happened, because the presentation was great. What happened? What happened? I will tell you. Life happened, because the students got out of presentation and they say, I need to get vaccinated. Just I have in 2 days, I have a test. So I will just complete the test and then I will go get vaccinated. We lost the momentum and they didn't go. 1 month later, they took another group of 100 students. They gave them the exact same presentation about get vaccinated, and they told them at the end, go and get vaccinated. But this time, they brought a map of the campus. They draw X where the clinic is located. They gave them the number of the clinic, and they told them the hours in which the clinic is open. And then they check 1 month later, and this time, 33 people out of 100, 33% conversion rate, which is very high, 11 times more than the previous time, went to get vaccinated. So the solution is, if you try people you want people to do something, they tell them exactly what to do, be very, very specific, and they will do it. And commandment number 10 is love your clients and love your audiences. Today, again, we talked about fake radar and bullshit radar. You can't fake love. And if you love your clients, you will be great in sales and marketing. And if you love your audiences, you will be a great speaker. And I can tell you, I love you guys, and I love USBI, and I love meeting different cultures. I love people. I'm very curious about people. I love audiences, and I love my clients. I choose my clients very carefully, so I will work only with people I love. And this is the way you can do. You can make the most fun and most money. So thank you very much for listening. And this is my details. So you have my details. So this is my email, yaniv@yanivzaid.com, and my mobile, 972-54-800-1200, and my website. And on the link tree, the QR code, there is a link tree of all my social media platforms, and my Avatar AI, and my online courses, and my website. So feel free to ask me any question you may have. If you see this broadcast, you can contact me. And if you see it afterwards, you can ask me any question you may have. So those are the 10 commandments of persuasive sales. This was just a sample. Obviously, I elaborate more on each one and practice with my clients over and over again. Thank you.
Thank you, Yaniv. That was terrific, and I liked your call to action there. I mean, we do encourage our customers and obviously everybody on the USB team to get in touch with our speakers, get to know you, get to understand you a little bit more. It's not always easy to get this across in such a short space of time. Melissa commented on point number 4, and I really concur with her on that one as well. You know, that it just becoming the expert, and yeah, it's terrific. And Nikki commented on the tool, the business tool, with business cards. It is just a simple thing at the end, and how impressive that can be. That, as you say, commandment number 10: care about your customers. You know, connect with them, get the details, understand what they're doing, and remember them. We've got a question. So one of the biggest challenges in sales today. This is from Melissa. She's a senior sort of global customer manager at USBI. Well, one of the biggest challenges in sales today is customers are saying, send me a proposal or I'll get back to you. In your 10 commandments, what's the most persuasive way to handle that moment without sounding too pushy or desperate? In other words, how do we create more urgency in the process?
Right.
Particularly when we're trying to secure speakers for conferences, their busy diaries, and we know these are the right speakers for. So I kind of completely agree with her on that one as well. Yeah.
So you need to create a shortage, because when client tells you, I will be in touch, okay? I will let you know, something like that. There is a basic assumption behind this sentence. The basic assumption is nothing is going to change, okay? Nothing is urgent, okay? So if I go back to you 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now, the proposal will be the same. You will be the same. You will be available for me. Nothing will change my situation for worse or something like that. And we need to overcome this basic assumption and to mention to the client, okay, you can take your time, but just I just want to let you know that, okay, for example, that maybe I won't be available 2 months from now. Maybe my prices are going to get up. Maybe the regulation in this area, or the prices, I'll sell you some products, I sell you an apartment or a car, so maybe the prices are going to get up in a few months from now. So if you wait, maybe you'll need to to be charged more. And also in price quote, there is a research that if you give a price quote without a date, okay, and you take the same price quote and add a date, and you say, for example, now is June 8th of June, and this is this price is relevant till July the 1st, okay, you get 40% more conversion rate over this price quote, because you just add the sentence with a little bit of shortage. So don't let your clients think that they can take their time and everything will be great.
Gotcha. Fantastic. And just for our customers on the call as well, you know, and even for our team, how do they become a little bit more influential with their ideas? Because you know you have a really great idea for a conference. You know it's going to work well. You're the expert. You've done the research, and you land it, and you just think, you know, and they don't really give you a good reason why they wouldn't go with this kind of concept. You know it's going to have maximum impact, and then kind of settle for something that you just think that is such a shame. And it's not always the money. So any tips for all of us?
So let's go back. Okay, first of all, if in order to be influential, you need to be in as many platforms as possible. Okay, not just one platform, but you need to be relevant and to push your ideas. For example, both on speaking gigs and LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook and podcasts and other platforms, because people need to hear you more and more times, because usually people react to your idea after they heard you between 7 and 9 times. So if you hear it just once, they can ignore you. But if they hear it from multiple platforms more and more again, once more and more again, then they will react. This is one thing. Number two is, like I said before, sell the problem before the solution, because your idea is the solution. And sometimes we focus on an idea because this is our comfort zone. But if you try to identify what is the problem of the other party, what are the pains that your idea is the cure, what are the needs that you are the answer to, or something like that. So sell the problem before the solution is focus on their problems, because they care about their problems, not about your solution. Because if you have a headache, you don't just go to Google and write aspirin, okay? This is the cure. You say what to do when I have a headache, and then they will offer you aspirin, you know? So always focus on the problem of the other side. And there is we talked about document information and use the information. If you study the client before the conversation, then you can use those pains during the conversation before you present your idea.
Love it. So what you're saying is, if you don't land your idea the first time, instead of keeping on reinforcing it, maybe you've misunderstood what the customer is really trying to tell you. Maybe they just didn't articulate it well, but go back, interrogate it more, and then come back.
And if you use social proof, by the way, then you can give examples of other clients that thought the same way, and then you convince them, and these are the results. We can show testimonials of people that say, I used the Dr. Yaniv Zaid's methods, and these are the results I got. So the current client will feel much more secure doing what you do.
Lovely. And last question. I know we're a little bit over time, but it's just such a good topic. So again, this is now from Melissa, who heads up our logistics. She's actually our operations manager, heads up sort of sales support, and does deal with a lot of customers. And she said, if a customer sort of says now's not a good time, but they don't say when is a good time, how do you know when to actually reach them to have these meaningful conversations? And yeah.
Great. So I will ask
all of us.
Yeah. So I will ask gently, but I ask more open questions. For example, okay, when do you think there will be the right time? Okay, what would you like us to reschedule? Do you have any further questions that maybe I can answer? Something like that. And then you can see if it's fake or not. Because if it's just a fake, an excuse to I call it keep in touch, but not too much. Okay, if it's just a fake, in order not to talk to you again, then they will not respond to those kind of questions. But if there is an actual objection, they will tell you now, they will explain it, and then you have a chance now, not in a week or now or so, to explain the situation. So keep the conversation, okay? Do it gently, not in a hard sales, but in soft sale. But keep asking questions, and when it's open question and you make the client or the other party talk, they will talk. You will identify the real problem, and then you can address it.
Thank you for your words of wisdom this morning. It was fantastic. A breath of fresh air. You've energized us for the week, and I hope some of the customers on the call also love the benefits. We look forward to working with you in South Africa in the months and years to come. Looking forward to hosting you here and having you here with us. All the best for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul, Kathy, and everyone. Thank you. It was a pleasure for me too. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, my
Bye.
friends.